Good afternoon, everybody. I was wondering earlier today, I'm coming to you live from Philadelphia, Pennsylvania. And earlier today, I was just sitting there thinking, I should probably come on as a character when I do my live feeds, you know. And then I was thinking, I can't think of a good character to come on today. And then I bumped into a guy today on the job, and I'm not kidding you. He said to me when I came upstairs, I was working on, first of all, let me just set the scene, okay? I am working on a large-scale construction project on a fairly decent-sized residence right here, like off of Rittenhouse Square. It's really, really high-end. The carpentry is just out of this world. And so I only show up to this job site every once in a while. And every day there are guys there working that are part of the crew that are there all the time. So today I bumped into the faux finish guy. That's a guy that does faux finish works. He can take a column, a plain wood column, and make it look like it's made out of marble or brick or whatever you want. And faux finishers are notoriously quirky. So anyway, I went upstairs and I bumped into this guy, and he said to me, "Oh, you must be that fabulous carpenter guy everybody's talking about." And I thought, "Thank you, sir. I just got my character for the day. So today we're going to learn a little bit about sheetrock. What do you think of that?" So I brought a little piece of sheetrock because I want to talk to you guys about how easy it is to cut a piece of sheetrock. It's really fucking simple to cut sheetrock. I'm going to show you that in just a second. But first, of course, got to tell you about my show coming up this Sunday, July 24th, with Julia Scotti. That's right. It's house calls with America's Funniest Handyman and friends, live every Sunday morning. Live every other Sunday morning at 10 o'clock. And this week we have Julia Scotti coming on the show. We'll be interviewing her, and then we will be teaching Julia some things that Julia wants to learn. Julia is a stand-up comic, one of the best in the country, honestly. I could say that about only a few people that I know personally in this area. And Julia has been doing stand-up since the 80s, and she's a force to be reckoned with. She's been on America's Got Talent. She's just awesome. Anyway, come see her on Sunday. And right now, I'm going to show you how to cut sheetrock. See, I got a knife here somewhere. So not only am I going to teach you how to cut sheetrock, I'm actually going to teach you a little bit about why it's so easy to cut sheetrock. Okay? Now, in order to cut a piece of sheetrock, like if I wanted to just cut this in half, see, I've already drawn my line. Now, cutting sheetrock is terribly easy when it comes to the cutting. Lifting a heavy sheet and putting it into position and getting things ready, that's not the easy part of sheetrock. When you actually go to cut the sheetrock, that's the easy part, okay? So what you do, you take a nice sharp blade. See how that's got a nice point on it? The reason I'm doing this is because I was cutting sheetrock all day long today with a knife because I didn't bring a roto-zip. If you don't know what a roto-zip is, then look it up. I don't have time to tell you today. These lives are supposed to be short, informative, and then get the hell out of here. And I've learned that I can really only teach you guys one lesson at a time for several reasons. One, I'm only good at teaching one lesson at a time. If I try to go beyond that in a short live like this, I get all over the place, and then I miss the point. And same thing goes for you guys. You're really only going to absorb and listen to one lesson at a time. So I've already made my line. Now I'm going to take this piece of sheetrock and I'm just going to make a nice little slice. This is 1/2-inch rock, by the way. Make a nice little slice right on my line. Okay, nice straight line, and that's it. That's it. It just cuts that easy. You just score the top and the rest just breaks. It just breaks, and then you just, let me show you. Let me show you. Then you just cut the back of it by bending it, and you will cut right inside that fold. And now I have 2 pieces of sheetrock. You can see how easy that was. Now, the reason I wanted to tell you guys about this today and why it's so easy is because whenever you're using power tools or anything sharp for that matter, people have a tendency, usually when they're being pushed to go faster, there's a tendency to over-engage the tool, as I call it, over-engaging the tool, or trying to push the tool through the work instead of just letting that little, the only thing that's really working here is that little tip and my hand. And I can really try to, but what happens when you're trying to push too fast? You start to wobble, you start to make mistakes. Whenever you're using power tools or anything sharp, do not over-engage the tool. Let the tool do the work, and you just try to back off, man. Just let that blade sink right into the paper, and you really don't have to push very hard at all to make that happen. See that? How about that? Okay, use the same concept when you're using a saw. I mean, I worked with a guy today. I'll just leave you on this one note. The thing that made me think of this is today I was really trying to focus on not rushing myself through this sheetrock, because all of these pieces of sheetrock had to be really nice and precision. So I really did have to take my time. And right next to me was this one guy who, unfortunately, he's an immigrant worker, and immigrant workers have a hard time in this country because they're constantly being taken advantage of and pushed way too hard. But that's a conversation for another time. Anyway, this guy, I already know some of his backstory. He's already cut off a couple of toes with a saw that he wasn't supposed to be using. He's constantly just slamming the saw down onto the material. He's already lost 2 toes. He lost part of a pinky a couple of weeks ago, and he's not listening to me when I tell him to wear glasses and slow down. I hope you do. I hope you guys listen to me. Listen when I tell you to slow the fuck down. You'll enjoy the work, you'll make fewer mistakes, and you will use far fewer drill bits, saw blades, and knife blades. That's the saving money part of this whole freaking lesson. If you can slow down a little bit and let the tools do the work, you won't rush through all those drill bits. They will stay sharp for you. Just like your brain. Keep it sharp. Slow down a little bit. That's it for today, guys. Join us on Sunday for House Calls with America's Funniest Handyman and Friends at 10 o'clock. Thanks, as always, for letting me bring a little bit of humor and a whole lot of experience onto your job site. See ya tomorrow, live from Rittenhouse Square, just a few blocks away.